Hello there, lovers of the tarot. We have the reversed Eight of Wands today. So check out this card. So the Eight of Wands is a 8 flying wands that can sometimes be seen as reaching up into the skies, and sometimes they can be seen as coming down to earth. Depends on how you want to read them, but either way, they're in the air. There's a lot of creativity floating in the air of our minds, and so this represents mental ideas of inspiration and breaking those boxes of our normal way of thinking, and thinking outside the box and reaching to dream and to dare to throw those creative seeds out into the world and see which ones germinate. And it's about expansion of our mind and expansion of what we can believe in, what we want in life, who we want to become, and just generating a lot of creative thought. So when this card comes reversed, there is a resistance to this creativity. This creativity usually creates some, or promotes and provokes some type of change in our lives. And so sometimes we've taught ourselves that change isn't good. Sometimes there's a trauma about making shifts in our lives, and these issues with change may well be the problem of this card, and they may well be what's behind not daring to dream bigger than we're actually living right now, not daring to experience more of ourselves, or to expand our potential, or even dare to think about what that might be, because that's what this card is. And so we might have this habit of thinking small and staying small, because it's safer staying small. It's safer being hidden. It's safer carrying on the same old stories and not daring to reach out and try something new. And this resistance may well come from old programs and old patterns that could well be family patterns, and we might find ourselves very simply just blocking our enthusiasm unconsciously. We may find ourselves just resisting to be expansive in our thoughts, or be open-minded in the way we can dream about our lives. And this card asks us to take check and to have a look at those programs and say, hey, am I holding myself back? Am I resisting dreaming myself into a bigger, better life? Is this me holding myself back through fears, through doubts, through self-doubts, and through maybe a low sense of self-worth? Because a lot of the time, if we don't feel worthy of something better, we won't dare to go there. And a lot of this resistance to worthiness, or a resistance to being good enough, can manifest in not daring to think what that might look like. So let's dare. Let's dare to dream big. Let's dare to think big as well. Now, another thing about this card is that there's a lot of creativity in the end. Sometimes, and another way of reading this card is that when we've got loads going on in our heads, and we've got all these ideas, so much creativity going on in our head, and we don't do anything about it, and we stay in this safe space of being in our heads and just being creative. This is the genius scientist intellect who's got all these ideas but doesn't know how to practically manifest them or bring them into the world. And so they're all up here in the headspace, in the creative headspace, but there's nothing down on the earth. There's nothing brought into action. And one reason that this could be reversed is like a message of saying, hey, you've got to do one thing. You've got to bring one of these ideas down to earth and make it happen. You've got to allow yourself a little bit of physical time, and the resisting of being in our heads all the time can be a good thing if it means, hey, coming out and doing something about it, because there could be a lack of action and there could be a resistance to action, because it's also safer just to have the ideas in our head where we can't experience failure so much, because there are only ideas in our head. If I don't try to manifest any of them, or if I don't intend to bring any of that into my life, I can't fail. And if we can't fail, then we don't have to face that fear of failure. We don't have to fall down on the floor on our faces and pick ourselves back up again. We don't have to land on the earth. And so there could be a little bit of resistance of earth landing as far as our creativity is concerned. So look into this, take a look and say, hey, maybe I can just dare to do one thing. Maybe I can just, take ourselves, or take myself into the space of the unknown, into this maybe a different way of being or a different way of acting, and do something about it. Let's get creative about that. And that's part of the message of this reversal. So if you have any resistance to dreaming, go for it. Fantasize as much as you want. Really stretch your head out. It's no harm in there's no harm in dreaming, and it can sometimes really bring your mind into a space of hope, excitement, and that's the point of this card: hope, excitement, inspiration. Yeah, and go there. Yeah, you don't have to manifest all of these ideas that might pop into your head. That's not the point. It's about feeling inspired, and that feeling of inspiration will take you somewhere. And don't be afraid to act upon it in one way or another. Much love. Hope you have a fantastic day. Throw some comments down. Subscribe to the channel if you like it, or just share some of this stuff with other people. All the best to you.